I have the grindstone listed here on its side, a couple other graphics as well. This is just on a layer locked and dimmed down, and there's a section on here with the type where it's kind of rotating across. So I'm going to take the elliptical shape first and just kind of create this shape. It's just a hand drawing, so it's not really completely accurate, but it's close on there, so I can take off the white surface there. I could always take a circle and take a shape tool and take the rectangle and just option, don't do that part, click off of it. It'll give me the smart guide that allows me to draw from outside there. Holding the option is going to center. Shift key keeps it perfectly straight there. Okay. And then if I want to rotate it, just come on the outside and shift key it like that. So I could kind of build it up from there. So that's a possibility of how to work. And you'll notice that the scaling of the pieces are together, and then I can just drop this down if I wanted to build it like that to place that on there. So I'll keep that off to the side just to show it to you. The other option is just to draw it, but you'll notice the text has a section on it that is attached to this path. And there's a couple ways that you can take this. So the text tool, when you telescope out the window shade, bring this out over here, you have all these options, text within a shape, a path is one we're going to use, and then there's other ones that are vertical, horizontal, and make it into a shape. So again, you can click on this path, and let's see if I can. And it'll give you that type of rotation on the piece. Again, the character palette, when you take a look at it, paragraph, it has it as centered, so this center line comes around and I can create it across that top. It gets a little tricky right there. But that's where it would be listed, and it'll line it up on the center for this piece. So then coming back to the character, increasing the point size, you can change the actual selection of this by changing the scaling. So here's vertical and horizontal scaling, so just typing in 200 just to see what it looks like. You can kind of get an idea based off of that piece that wraps itself around it. But the other option is to just, instead of making it the circle, elliptical shape, drop it down again. They have tools in here. Again, with your palette, you can adjust it back and forth here and have it where you can actually cut through this to make it changing in its size. So let's see if I can locate it here. Here it is. In the eraser tool, again, I'll leave that open. There's a knife tool and scissors. So if I click on the scissors and just click on these anchor points, and it'll let me take that off. And again, taking the text to the path in BEREA Chamber of Commerce. And that gives you that piece. And again, it's showing me that the text, click on the paragraph, is still centered. Bring this across. And this is just showing that the width and the height of this is extended. So depending on how far you take this, if you adjust it onto this piece, showing that it's on that side. So I have to select all of it and just change it slightly just to get the commerce in there. Okay. And so there it is, centered, placed in there. Then under type, you have different options. Type on a path, and type path options window pops open, so you can just grab all of them. Click on preview, and you can see all these. The skew is the one that's kind of the one that looks closest and better for this part, so it fits onto that selection. So I'll click OK on that and go back into the type, and now increase this part. If I do one too many, it'll go a little bit too far up there, and so now I have to rely on increasing the height of the type. So just kind of clicking on it with the arrow key, letting this type kind of grow right up on the top. So since it was the same semi-selection of that one, it places it in there pretty accurately. And then I have all the elements there that I can then use if I want to take this piece, just kind of drag it down here, select all these elements, and with the align tool just go ahead and center everything. Can zoom into this part. And if I want to take a rectangle tool, deselect everything, just select it, let the smart guide help me with this shape, and then use the pieces of this one to option and delete that one, just make these two shapes for that part. So it becomes relatively easy once you get the selection made for that part. Okay. And then once you have the idea of doing the drawing first, trying to really emphasize that part, let's see if I can move these out of the way here. Don't really need them. So here's the sketch, and it's a lot easier to change or modify the sketch. But once I have the computer section made, then you have a whole listing. Hopefully it's accurate, and I can just make a duplicate copy up at the top. For example, say I want this piece to have a profile view and make it a little bit thicker, just to see what it's going to look like, changing it with just some of the presets. Okay. Selecting this again, just optioning, making a copy over here, and selecting it again and seeing what it would look like filled in with a stroke or a gradient, and seeing those pieces heading up there. So it's, once you get the initial part, then you can start using, it's almost like the finished art that you're then adapting to make that change. So it makes it a little bit easier. So for example, I could option and do that piece, making it a couple thicknesses of its own, so you can kind of see what that's going to look like. So take a look at, as you're putting the logo together, and trying to modify any selections that you have to make a variation on the theme.